The scale of the challenge has been overwhelming, and that's why you haven't seen much of me lately, in part. Hope you're well. Um, it's the 24th of December, so tomorrow's Crimbo Day. We're going to try and make a little bit of something about it. Certainly, we're going to be with family. My daughter's with us, and so that's really the best we could ask for is family time. Still time, quiet time, not too much rushing around, although as you can see, I'm out. There's a little bit of last minute shopping, food. Andrea said she would like a date with me for Christmas, so I bought a box of dates. We'll see how that goes down. Well, I thought about buying a box of dates. Anyway, yeah, the year's nearly over, and still so much kind of strange stuff happening. And I guess, like, for many people, well, certainly for me anyway, the feeling of what's the what's the what's the role, what's the purpose, what's the way of helping people, given the nature of things here. And just trying to find stillness and see how that brings kind of clarity. But we've been we've been on the go. We've moved around a lot, as you know, and in the last 5 years, this year hasn't been any different. Not the worst year by any stretch of the imagination, but yeah, just been interesting, challenging. And as I said, I have struggled to find a voice, and I'm still struggling to find a voice. I can barely speak now. So we'll see what happens, and the crazy continues to get crazy out there, and I guess it must. We don't have to stare at it, we don't have to fear it, but it must get ever crazier. You can't go back to the old normal. The old normal was a con anyway. So what are we moving towards? More sketchy control by the world order. That seems to be very much on the cards for 2024, doesn't it? There's organizations whose name you dare not speak anymore because we are moving into such a state of tyranny that it may it's going to bring more people to take action, but what action are they going to take, and is it going to be a reaction to the stuff that's going on around them? Understandable, but probably predicted and intended. So yeah. So I don't know what to say to you guys at the moment. I'm not sure what the direction of travel is of this channel. I do have some potential speaking engagements or opportunities over the next few months. So I'll more on those as they come to pass or come into reality. One of them, if you're in Bruton, 22nd of January, I think, 23rd. I might need I'll have to confirm that, but I'm going to be doing a presentation. A friend of mine has a bookstore in Bruton, which she uses as a truther touchdown point. So I'm going to do that, and maybe two other things with Hope Sussex through the irrepressible Katie Joe, who runs it, or his co-founder or something. But you know, hollering at the streets, or being hollered at, I'm not sure about that anymore. You know, I had to let my car go the other day because well, it got clamped. Tax wasn't paid, MOT was outstanding, and so I paid to have it unclamped, took it in for the MOT, which had been booked. I'd only been back from Europe a couple of days. I'd booked in the MOT ahead of time, and I think for the 2nd of December, and it got clamped the day before. So I got it unclamped, took it to the MOT, and the guy said to me, "This is the worst car I've seen in months, actually. The worst car we've had come in for MOT. It's failed on so many points, you know, it's going to cost you close to £1,000 to repair, and going to take quite a while time-wise. And then, given the state of the car, next year it's going to be more things are bust and broken and whatnot." I said to him, "I've just done a 3,000 mile round Europe trip in this car." He said he couldn't believe it. And yeah, it was a little bit, you know, I knew that the car was, you know, makes certain noises and blah blah blah. The engine was fine, but other parts of the car had broken before, you know, the brakes and the windscreen wiper elbow business and some other thing I can't remember now. But so it was, you know, so suddenly I was in a situation where I could not tax the car because I couldn't get it MOT'd, i.e. I could not legally have it on the road anymore. And I know all the free man stuff, but you know, I've done the whole thing for a while, and it just ends up being more ball ache for me, you know, inconvenience. And you know, I don't want to even see my little boy see the car booted like that, you know, where it's like, oh, daddy can't drive the car because some authority has stopped taking his power away. Yeah, I mean, I'm not like ranting against the system that would, you know, clamp my car for non-payment of the road tax. I don't agree with taxes in the main, but this is the system, so there's no point in me bleating on about how unfair and unreasonable it is. And you know, the £260 to unclamp it, it was £10 more than my friend Simon paid to buy the car. Anyway, the car's gone to the crusher, and I didn't realize when I cleared out the car, I didn't realize that my 2 banners that I'd made, the yellow ones, were in the car still, so they've gone off to be crushed. Maybe that's a sign, you know. I carried them all around Europe with me, and I didn't pull them out. And yeah, maybe I'm needing to move on from being the belligerent, trying to wake up the masses. I saw a brief clip of a guy who I'd never heard of before, but he's obviously a wrestler or a boxer or a fighter or a American football player, black guy, and he was talking about flat earth and how he, you know, he sees it, but he doesn't feel the need to engage people in argument over it, you know. And that's really what a lot of the street work is. Well, it's not all argument, I know, but it certainly does color the experience. No, I don't know exactly where I'll find my place, but I thought I'd make this quick video because I had 10 minutes in the car to myself. I want to thank you for your support and for your comments over the last year, especially those who've been able to support us financially. It got us over so many hurdles, and yeah. I'm doing something called M-Blue treatment at the moment to treat parasites, using a red light therapy alongside of that, and I'll let you know, make a video maybe how that goes, because I am struggling with various parasites. We could call it stress, but as you can see here, my hair is falling out and my eyebrow's gone this side, I should say. But this hair grew back when I treated it with MMS. Well, I took MMS and it seemed to kind of grow back after that, after having eroded my follicles. Anyway, yeah, so thanks for your support, and your connection, if we have such a connection. The world, as I say most times, I think the world is within us, and we need to do the work within. The world outside is just kind of pushing us to that, but we need not surely. I mean, I'm not 100 or 1000% sure about this, but I know that we have to be in government, that we need, obviously this game needs government as it is now, but people living in a sovereign way, working together, can do things in groups, in communities that we might not think possible at the moment. I would strongly commend that. But there are billions of people on Earth, and the majority of them are programmed enough to follow. And as driving around Europe and seeing all these cities, there are millions of people in these cities, and there is so much commerce on the roads. When you need something to manage that. I accept that, but we should be doing these things knowing who and what we are, rather than this monkey brain evolution, happy to pay tax slave kind of lifestyle. I'll close with this one idea I came up with the other day, which is that imagine a world in which your contribution to the community was valued, such that, let's say you went out and worked and earned £10,000, $10,000, and you then spent that money in the economy. At the end of the year, a percentage, let's just say 50% of that money should be returned to you. As a you use that in the economy, but here's your bit of it back, 50%, and then next year, if you earn another 10,000, you've got the 10,000 that you earn plus 50% of last year's spend, so you've got 15 grand to spend this year, and so it would go on until such time as, well, you probably wouldn't need to work anymore, because the amount that you were paid in the year before was 150,000, and so therefore you get 75,000 back next year, and you can plow that back into the system. Okay, eventually that money would whittle down. But I feel like that system would mean that we were actually encouraged to earn, but it was not at such a cost, not at such a, like, the moment everybody has to give up, most people have to give up most of their adult life simply to have a roof and keep warm and a nice Christmas meal, if that's what they like. It's not going to be like that, but I'm just spitballing ideas about how it might, because at the end of the day, if we make the money and it's only paper money and so on, some people would say, look, that's going to spike inflation, because if people can afford more, then everything's, people got more money, then the competition for things might go up. But that's only, again, building it within this construct where we limit people's space and the amount of areas that we can build ourselves, live on the countryside. Some people don't want to spoil the countryside at all, and I don't want to spoil nature, but I think the most important nature here is you, us. And so any agenda that kind of curtails us over the animals, the plants, the countryside. Yeah, I think that's got to be reviewed, because these cities and these places are not getting any empty. They're not the density of population is only on the increase. Anyway, that's how it's going to be. It's not going to be always the most happy of places, but at the end of the day, we're here to have a soul journey. So I wish you a good journey in the months, years ahead, and let's see what 2024 brings, and good wishes to you and yours.